Hello, Chris.piehota with you, and looking at the aftermath of the Brown shooting tragedy. I think it's time we started looking at the quality of people that we have placed into positions of authority. I think we have a lot of folks who are inept, incompetent. They lead with their political and ideological preferences rather than what's the proper operational or business posture or practice. And let's take a look at some of these posts in social media. They're talking right here about at the Brown University. It's talking about failures where, the people in charge of the safety of the faculty and student body, they don't seem to be up to the task. They don't seem to be engaged. So during the shooting event, Brown University has an emergency notification system was never activated. And here's a little bit of a snippet from, what they have there. They have a preparedness and evacuation. They have an alert system. They have a siren system. And I don't think any of that was actively engaged during the shooting event. I think what happened was they had a policy on paper, but it wasn't operational like many organizations. They have a policy, but they don't practice it. And that's, I think, what happened here. And somebody I spent the whole career in, protecting people, assets, and infrastructures from harm and damage and theft. And too many places think because they have a binder, an emergency management binder, that's sufficient, and it's not. And you can see down here this Mr. Rodney Chapman. He is in charge of public safety at Brown University. And he was hired in 2021 to address bias in policing. So I guess he's captioned here as a supporter of the BLM and DEI movements. And I'm thinking, how does this individual keep his job after such an abysmal failure on the campus? They had no access control. Their cameras weren't set up properly. It seems as though they had lots and lots of video surveillance in some areas and none in others. And it just seems like this individual did not come in and do a proper security and safety audit of the university. I'm not even sure what his background is, to tell you the truth, but this is the guy right here. And another indication of just gross incompetence and just stunning disconnect is the actual the president of the university. And what I'm going to do is play a quick clip, and she's interacting with the media. Check this response.
Some web pages for students or faculty have been taken down. Is that a response to any external threats to anyone in the community?
We have been working very closely with law enforcement to provide them with all of the internal to Brown information that they need to do this investigation. It's their investigation, they're the professionals. So we're providing information. We're not in the job of reviewing it for them. I know nothing about web pages being taken down as part of this. It's the first I've heard of it.
In the back. So she's the president of the university, just had a tragic shooting event. She knows nothing about the web pages being taken down. In another interaction with the press, she talked about, the sirens wouldn't have been turned on. And the press says, well, that's what they say they're for. And she goes, well, it depends. And it's a debacle on every level. And in the background, you see the chief of police, who seems to be equally overmatched, inept, and in over his head. And the state attorney general, not a great showing. And the mayor of the city, just a complete clown. So who are these people? How did they get in charge? Are we leading for the best operational and business environments for the community, or are we operating where we are just looking to advance ideologies and political positions? It's unbelievable. So we have this big group of inept people trying to manage an investigation, a tragic shooting. Nobody knows what's going on. We're on day 5, no clues. sometimes we have pictures, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we have video, sometimes we don't. The chief of police doesn't seem to know what's going on, and I'm not sure where the state police are in Rhode Island on this. So the FBI is there, but they're there in a support capacity because this is not a federal matter, so to speak, yet. But yeah, don't know what's going on, folks. I think the quality of our leadership has severely declined over time, and these are the clowns that we have in charge. God help us.